Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Deppner, and I'm joining tonight from rural Manitoba on Treaty 2 lands, the traditional lands of Dakota, Ojibwe, and Anishinaabeg peoples and homeland of the Métis Nation. I'm speaking tonight in support of Bill 225 as a parent of three enthusiastic, creative, and clever young children who are now thankfully sleeping. My 8-year-old son, Kellen, has always loved being read to, exploring pictures and books and trips to our local library. He's like a moth to a flame when a story is being read. As a parent, I was so excited when Kellen started grade 1, as I naively thought that this is where he would unlock his ability to read and fall in love with books in a whole new way. He came home in September of his first grade year, bursting with secret stories of how letter sounds worked and with a shiny new home reading bag full of books. As months marched on, those early reading texts were no longer exciting. They were becoming a source of frustration, dread, and tears in our home. His grade 1 teacher connected with us in May and asked a salient question. Do you have a family history of dyslexia? She shared with us that despite Kellen scoring well on the screening tools available to her in that school, assessments, and on his report card, she was concerned with his progress. She encouraged us to seek a psychoeducational assessment through the school, and those efforts were met with a message of, oh, he's so young. No, let's just wait and see. When he's in grade 3, we can assess him for a learning disability. Seeing how Kellen's confidence and self-esteem had eroded so rapidly in just 1 year, the idea of waiting another 2 years for assessment and support didn't seem like a good idea. Our financial privilege afforded us the opportunity to pay for private psychoeducational assessment when Kellen was 6 years old to confirm his diagnosis of dyslexia and dysgraphia. His early diagnosis and intervention are a result of a caring and informed educator, privilege, and luck. Universal screening would stop leaving our children's literacy education up to luck and privilege. As parents, we immersed ourselves in the literature on dyslexia, reading instruction, evidence-based interventions, and best practices. We learned that dyslexia can be reliably diagnosed in kids as young as age 5. And when diagnosed early and interventions are in place early, kids do better. We also learned in terms of reading instruction, what works for kids with dyslexia also works really well for the whole classroom. We've found community in other families parenting children with dyslexia and have learned from our peers. We were acquiring this knowledge just as our daughter Harper entered kindergarten. We started that year with informed questions to our school and were met with discouraging answers. We started that year knowing that, well, some screening is set to be done in kindergarten, but no, it wasn't with the tools that we had learned were consistent with best practice. And there was not really a process in place for sharing the screening results with parents. This demonstrated to us that the school needs help selecting evidence-based screening tools. Bill 225 is important to our family. I asked Kellen today what he would like to share with this committee, and he said to me, ask them to look for dyslexia in kindergarten. Don't leave us struggling alone for so long. Universal screening is an opportunity for Benny, my youngest son, to have a literacy experience in school that is better than his brother and his sisters. We have been fortunate to have crossed paths with so many great educators who truly have the best interests of our children in their hearts, minds, and classrooms. Our children, families, and educators need legislation for universal screening for learning disabilities that recommends specific tools based on best practice and has processes built in to strengthen communication and partnership between the classroom and home. Screening opens doors to the next steps for further improvement at the level of the classroom, school, district, and province. I would appreciate your support in moving Bill 225 forward to enhance the future literacy for my family and for all families in Manitoba.
Thank you, Ms. Deppner. Emily Lamoureux. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and I'd like to thank you for your virtual presentation here this evening. And more of just a comment, I appreciate your son's recommendations. It's always nice to hear directly from children who are, and even when they're not, having the same experiences. And because who knows better than the children who are actually going through the school system right now as we speak. I also appreciate you speaking to the importance why we need to have tools that are regulated and are consistent so that whether it be teachers who are implementing the tools or parents who are receiving the feedback from what is being implemented, it allows for everyone to be on the same page with information being shared. So thank you for your presentation.
Ms. Deppner, would you like to respond?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. I appreciate it.
Are there any further questions? Emily De La Cruz.
Michelle, thank you very much for your presentation tonight, and thank you for, I guess I'll speak to the camera over here who are looking at the screen. Thank you for sticking around even while your little ones are fast asleep. They're very lucky to have you, and we're very lucky to have heard your perspective on this bill.
Ms. Deppner, would you like to respond?
Difference is a long and difficult road, I think, as many people have shared tonight. And so that recognition means a lot. Thank you.
Emily Cook.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you very much for taking time to share your story with the committee tonight. I know it's late, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Ms. Deppner. Are there any further questions? Thank you so much.